Welcome to ZKast, everyone. I'm Zeus Caraval from ZK Research, and I'm here at beautiful Petco Park in San Diego with Ray Chan, VP of IT for the Padres. Ray, how you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Beautiful day here in San Diego. Can't complain.
Yeah, I've been wanting to talk to you. Petco Park consistently rates among the top ballparks for fan experience year after year after year. I think USA Today had you number 1. I've seen you maybe as low as number 3 in some other rankings, but you're always top 3, right?
Sure.
And so talk about that, just that philosophy the team has, and then the role that IT plays in making sure that you're always up there when it comes to fan experience.
No, absolutely. Look, our fans are amazing. I think I would put it against any other sports club out there. The experience here at Petco Park, especially today, is just fantastic. The energy, you saw a little bit about that in last year's postseason run. But it's a place to be here in San Diego, and I think for us, even before we had a very competitive team on the field, the point of what we're trying to do here as an organization was try to make the experience great for the fan. Have the night out with the family and make Petco Park as accessible and unique as possible. You're creating memories here for everybody, so you want them to come here, make a great impression, and say, hey, look, I want to come back. So from a technology standpoint, we were trying to be really innovative, as if every single one of these seats were already full at the time. And it wasn't the case. Take us back 10 years ago, we're still trying to get to that point, but we wanted to build a culture, a team, a front office, and in my case, a technology team that's operating at a World Series level, so that we're ready. When the time comes and the team is caught up to that level of excellence, then we're already there. And so that's what we've been trying to do. And so for us today, the technology is key to making sure that this place is run as efficiently and operationally as possible. And that's where we're at right now. We're still trying to continue to manage this whole ballpark, innovate, basically, continue to spend on improvements around the ballpark, because it's more than just a ballpark. It's everything. We do concerts, and that's been our slogan: more than a ballpark for a long time.
Yeah, and so how many events do you do here a year?
Oh gosh, if I talk to my events team, we got 81 home games plus postseason, and then besides that, definitely postseason.
Definitely postseason.
And so then on top of that, we've renovated several parts of our ballpark to have other events. Behind me is Gallagher Square. We renovated that 2 years ago. We have a lot of concerts back there. We have full venue concerts here on the field. So I want to say somewhere between 300 to 400 events a year is kind of where we're at right now.
So you're averaging more than one a day as far as events go.
Yes, absolutely. That's what I've been told, and I believe it, because you may have one part of the ballpark for one group of folks, another part for another group of folks, but for us, we're going to have to turn that around as quick as possible. And there's always different needs depending on what event. So technology is always looking to fulfill those needs for whatever clients here at the ballpark.
Yeah, and I think the first time I met you was at an Extreme event, right? And so I think you had just upgraded the wireless this many, many years ago.
Yes.
But just talk about that in general from a fan experience perspective. How important is the network today than it was even back then?
Yeah, look, when I first started here 15 seasons ago, we just didn't have the infrastructure. It wasn't even a need at the time. We were trying to sell tickets, but if you did sell out the ballpark,
2010,
you could not make a call. You couldn't send a text message. So, you fast forward to where we did put in a full venue DAS and Wi-Fi. You sort of started finding use cases for it, right? Fans now are able to connect to the internet. Social media blows up. Now they're able to share experiences online. And so then at the same time, as you go forward up to today, now what are we doing? We have digital ticket entry over the last how many seasons now? We have basically back of the house operations. We have cameras, security cameras that rely on the infrastructure. It has to be resilient. It has to be up all the time. We have IP televisions that we're rolling out. All of that's riding on the same converged infrastructure. And so more than ever before, we're so reliant on it. And then you got the baseball side of things where, you have instant replay. You have tablets in the dugouts now that the teams are using.
That's right. They're actually using the handhelds.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so all that stuff.
But no watches, right?
No watches, no watches. Yes, no cell phones, nothing like that. But again, it's one of those things where it's sort of taken for granted at the time. Nowadays, and infrastructure is key. And so for us, point of sales too, we were looking at locations that I've shown you.
Walk me through that, Ray. So if I'm a fan coming in,
Yes.
I know my digital experience is going to start with the ticket, right? Because the whole league's gone to that. But what else am I going to experience here within Petco Park that that's part of that overall digitized technology?
Absolutely. So I mean, going back to in the beginning of when the ballpark app first launched, the league took an approach that, hey, look, we want to have a consistent experience across all 30 venues. We don't want each club to build their own app, right, per se. So if you look at
Which is different than other leagues.
Correct.
Yes, yeah.
It's kind of left to their own vices on whatever that looks like. But for us, we work very close with the league to manage our section of the ballpark app. So when you come here, it knows that you're at Petco Park. Your digital ticket lives there. That's your entry into the ballpark. But also within that section of the ballpark app is all the other information that you have about Petco Park, all the food offerings we have. There's a navigation feature there to kind of help you navigate the ballpark now. There's also your digital wallet in there as well. So you're now able to use your digital wallet to make purchases. You can load that wallet up, or you can just do Apple Pay, Android Pay. It all lives there, as well as your unique QR code that gets you your discounts at the concession stands. So that's kind of the experience now. And so for us, it's essential for people to come in and use their phones, and they're used to it now. So fast forward again, as we're looking at go-ahead entry, you're not going to even have to pull that phone out anymore.
And go-ahead entry, if those don't know, that's the facial recognition that's used at a few of the ballparks.
Few of the ballparks have rolled it out over the last couple of seasons. It's definitely the most frictionless way to enter a ballpark.
Well, it's really cool. It actually greets you by name.
Yes,
So,
yes.
Yeah, I like that.
I've seen that sort of implementation in some other venues, and look, you can get really creative with that. But again, none of that stuff works without the infrastructure in place. So those are some of the experiences we have. But also, when you do go to some of the locations here in the ballpark, some of the food and beverage locations, you still have your traditional sort of payment method, with your phone, or you can kind of grab and go now in some areas. We have 3 locations today that does that, and then we have another Mashkin location where you can kind of scan your items, but we're cashless, guys. We don't deal with cash anymore.
And then I noticed you've had since I was here last, you've got a number of new screens. And I know that's a big initiative to try and keep people up to date no matter where they are in the park, right? And so, but that's all network driven too, right?
That is network driven. So we're using IP television today. It's key, because not only are you going to broadcast the game on those screens during game days, but if you are wanting to get other information out there, you're able to then transform that screen on the fly. We have an L bar. It's not, unlike other places. I mean, they have these bars now that you can sell ad space on as well. And then if you have a concert or some other special event, you can then transform those screens to match whatever's on the field, right? Digital menu boards as well, dynamic pricing. As things change game to game, event to event, the concession partner can then make that changes in the back end, and it'll reflect right there.
Yeah, actually, how would you do that otherwise? I guess that would be a lot of work.
It would just essentially, it's all pretty much cloud-based now, but you still have to go in there and manually change prices versus just doing it, with the integrations they have today.
All right, and so what's coming? What do you got on the roadmap for Petco?
Oh my gosh, well, you spoke about IP television. That's a big initiative. We're a 21-year-old ballpark, and with that, there's a lot of infrastructure modernization that still needs to take place. So we're doing that as we speak. We just completed a couple of key CapEx projects. The Western Metal building right behind me, there's a rooftop space and a loft right below that. We just combined the 2 spaces together this past off season to now give a bigger experience for a bigger group of people in that area. So we're always looking at other sort of nooks and crannies in the ballpark to try to transform if we can. We did all the suites 2 years ago. But yeah, down the road, I think for us, we're consistently going to focus on how to make the fan experience better through concessions and frictionless entry. So that's going to be part of the roadmap. And again, going back to the IP television, we want to do that and continue to be able to transform whatever's being displayed.
I think if I were to sum up the experience at Petco in 2 words, it's flexibility and speed.
It really is.
You got a lot of spaces. You mentioned out in center field. That whole space seems like you can make it whatever you want. everything here you can do fast over the network, frictionless. Yeah.
Exactly, and we're learning, right?
Yeah.
The biggest thing for us is like, we want to be a listening organization. We've been that for the last how many seasons now. We want to hear back from our fans. What do they like? What don't they like? And learn and adjust from that, And so for us, it's great that we are playing great baseball and the fan experience here. The ultimate goal, obviously, is to win a championship for San Diego, and so that brings the fans together. But yeah, we're always looking to innovate. We're always looking to make things better, and it's a great platform to work on.
So last question, I have to ask you about this because it's the thing everybody asks everybody about. What are you thinking about with AI?
Oh my gosh, that's the biggest question, right? You get that a lot, and I've spoken to students like, what are you doing with AI? What are you doing with AI? I think really
ChatGPT.
Yeah, there is ChatGPT. It's making my emails sound better, but no. Honestly, I think where you want to look at, AI, generative AI, is how can I improve customer service, right? How can I leverage it so that I can free my people up to deal with people problems? And so we're looking at the different sort of use cases there to better understand, like maybe it's a chat bot, maybe it's a AI voice line that you can call. Some ideas that kind of we're kicking around is how do we use AI to help with lost and found, for example.
Oh, that's a great idea.
So, hey, I lost my phone here. I can call in, or I can talk to a chat bot. It's integrated to a database of found items and says, I found it, this is it. So it's things like that, and then at the same time...
That's actually a really great idea. I hadn't heard that use case before.
It's funny because I feel like, when we have these discussions with some AI companies out there, it's a two-way conversation where we're trying to almost help build their portfolio of ideas.
Well, because they don't know what to do with it.
They don't either.
They just know it's AI, right?
Exactly. Yeah. But it's exciting. Like I think for us, it's just a matter of learning, but at the same time, the biggest initiative for every club is training their users to use it in a responsible way.
Yeah. All right, Ray Chan, anything else you want to add?
No, I'm just glad that you're here, Zeus, and hope you enjoy your second visit to Petco Park.
Yeah, well, I always appreciate coming to Petco. Top-rated fan experience. I understand why. 21-year-old ballpark doesn't seem like it's 21 years old, though. So
no, and I'll leave you with this, but I think that's the whole idea. Is like we want to make it look no older than 2 or 3 years, And it takes a great commitment from ownership, from leadership, and they've done a great job with that, and our fans appreciate that.
Yeah. So if you're a baseball fan, Petco Park is a must-see.
Absolutely. So, try everything. The food is great, by the way, and we don't skimp on that. Yeah.
Okay. So on behalf of Ray Chan, VP of IT for the San Diego Padres, I'm Zeus Caravallo from ZK Research, and thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time on the next episode of ZKast. Thanks, Ray.